Alright, so for tiny epic dinosaurs, we're going to go ahead and start talking about all the research cards a little bit, or at least mention them. So if you just decide to take this one, your university sponsor, if you have the first player token, you'll gain any 2 resources of your choice, and it's worth a victory point. So it's only useful of taking if you have the first player token, or if you plan to take an action to take it away from whoever has the first player token. Dino Food Addictives. You may discard this card to feed all of your dinosaurs. Another thing you'll notice is it has a phase on it. This one has phase 5. This one over here has phase 1. That means you get to use this ability during those phases only. So if you take this card, you won't get this immediately. You'll get to use this ability during that particular phase. So maybe you can plan ahead and take the first player token away from somebody else so you can use this during the first phase of the game. And so this one here works for the 5th phase of the game. You may discard this card to feed all of your dinosaurs. That is awesome. That could come in handy if you feel like you don't have enough resources, enough food to feed everybody, especially. This could come down to you losing a bunch of dinosaurs if you had this handy and ready to go for just in case. And then, of course, it's worth 3 victory points. Carnivore DNA Log. At the end of the game, gain 5 victory points if you have the most carnivores in your ranch. If tied, gain 3. So if you don't have the most carnivores in your ranch at the end of the game, getting this card doesn't give you any extra doesn't give you victory points at all. So this is only worth it for victory points because it doesn't have any other ability. Security Force. This one is an awesome one to have. Prevent 1 dinosaur from escaping each round and place it in your holding area. Instead, ignore its escaping penalty. Tilt this card to indicate it has been used this round, and it's worth a victory point. So you get to use this every round, but only once per round. You get to prevent a dinosaur from escaping, and it doesn't matter which phase it escapes, because it doesn't have a particular phase on it, right? And that also negates that possibility of an escaping penalty. So this is definitely an awesome one to have. This is another one of those cards that are just straight for victory points, and it's like that other one with the carnivores, except this one is just for herbivores. So we'll just continue on. This is another one that's only useful for victory points, but let's talk about it since it's a little different. This one is Maximum Habitat. At the end of the game, you'll gain 1 victory point for every 2 dinosaurs in your ranch. So if you have a bunch of dinosaurs in your ranch and you weren't able to, complete enough public contracts or private contracts to utilize all of them, at least with this card you can get some extra points for every 2 dinosaurs in your ranch. You'll get an extra point. Okay, so here we go. Laboratory Upgrade. Gain any 1 resource of your choice anytime you acquire a research card. So if you're planning on getting a lot of research cards during the course of the game, if you choose to get this one in the beginning of the game, it could come in handy because then the next time you get a research card, you'll get a resource. But if you get it towards the end of the game, if you see it during the last round or the second to last round, this is probably not even worth getting. Rancher Biometrics. This one works only during the 2nd phase of your game. Okay, after you have placed all of your ranchers, you may place one of your ranchers from medical leave onto an empty action space and take that action. Tilt this card to indicate it has been used this round. So you can use this every round, which is awesome. And then obviously during the action phase of the game. So if one of your ranchers end up getting hurt and sent to medical leave, then this will definitely come in handy because, hey, you'll get to use that rancher again during the same round. So you basically, in a sense, get an extra action. That's really cool. But only, of course, if somebody gets injured thanks to the Wrangler die. So that can actually be a benefit if you end up rolling the claw marks on the Wrangler die. Okay, so here we have this is Research Converter, and this works only during the Feed Dinosaur phase. You may use up to 2 of a single resource type as another single type. Well, that's kind of interesting. So basically, you're converting meat into plant, etc., etc. So maybe you don't have enough meat to feed a dinosaur, but you have extra plants. You can turn 2 plants into 1 meat, basically, which is kind of interesting. I like that. That's pretty cool. May use up to 2 of a single resource, so that's pretty cool. That you can actually do it twice. You can convert one plant into a meat and another plant into a meat is what it actually means. So that's actually pretty useful. I read it wrong. Okay, so mobile barriers. This one works during the 4th phase when you arrange your ranch. You may rearrange your barriers, including those previously placed. Once you place your barriers down in your ranch, they will stay there, and they'll be stuck there for the rest of the game. But unless of course you take that action that allows you to remove a barrier from your ranch and put it back into your holding area during the action phase of the game, that would probably be the only usefulness of using that particular action. But if you had this card, you wouldn't need to worry about that action because you could use this instead. You may rearrange your barriers, including those previously placed. So that's really cool. But it looks like it's a one-time use because otherwise it would say tilt this card this round to indicate you've used it. Actually, maybe it is for every round too, because when you think about it, it's not like you're going to be doing this a second time during the same round. So I think that's still going to work out for you throughout the entire game. I'd have to double check on that card, but I would imagine that's the case. So here we have Super Food Research. This one works for your for the 5th phase of the game, which is feeding dinosaurs. If you feed 3 different species of dinosaurs, gain 1 supply. Ooh, that's nice. If you feed 4 or more species of dinosaurs, instead gain 2 supplies. So if you have a lot of different species of dinosaurs in your ranch, this will be a big benefit to you because you'll be getting extra supplies, which is nice to complete certain actions, that's for sure. Okay, Egg Incubator. This one works for the 6th phase of the game, so the breeding phase. You may pay 2 supplies to add any 1 regular dinosaur to your holding area. Well, that's interesting. So you can actually pay 2 supply resources to basically get a new dinosaur, but put into your holding area instead of your ranch. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, Breeding Center. Once again, this is for the 6th phase of the game. If you have only a single regular dinosaur of 1 species, you may pay 1 supply to add a newborn dinosaur of that species into your ranch. Newborn dinosaurs cannot breed the round they are born. So if you do this, it means you won't be able to breed another dinosaur for that round. But still, this will make it so if you only have a single regular dinosaur of 1 species, this will indicate that you can actually get another dinosaur anyways because of this extra breeding center that you have. That's pretty cool. I like that. Enclosure Upgrades. You do not discard barriers of dinosaurs due to escaping dinosaur penalties. The escaping dinosaurs are still discarded. So this is an awesome card. This means that if you have a lot of herbivore dinosaurs escaping, you'll still lose the herbivore dinosaurs, obviously, but you won't lose the barriers. That's really cool. You don't discard barriers due to escaping dinosaur penalties. So if you lose barriers otherwise, yes, you'll lose them, but you won't lose them to escaping herbivore dinosaurs escaping. So that's an awesome card to have. Very useful. Cool, right? I think this is the last one of these particular cards here. So here we have, for the 2nd phase, which is the action phase, after you have placed all of your ranchers, you may pay 1 supply to move one of your ranchers from its current action space to a different empty action space and take that action. Oh, that is awesome. Don't forget to tilt the card to indicate you used it this round. So in a sense, this is giving you that extra action, and it only works, of course, after you've used all of your ranchers. That's still awesome, better than the other one, because this one guarantees you'll get to do it every round, while as long as you pay a supply resource, obviously. But the other one, you'd have to wait until you have a rancher injured in order to get an extra action. So that's really cool. I like that one too a lot. That's all of those particular cards. So the only ones left are obviously the dinosaurs. So here we have this one here, and I found all of the meeples that go with each of the cards. so that we can, see what they look like a little bit. So I'm not going to try to pronounce every single one appropriately, of course. And because we're already starting to run into time in this video, we're actually going to cover the dinosaur cards in the next video.